Started with 0 properties, and now we're up at 171.
Matt Smith here, Matt Smith Real Estate Group, and it is that time again for another community spotlight. This time we're joined by Julie Remark, Integrity Property Management. They are an amazing property management company here in the area that are doing amazing things for clients. So Julie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so Julie, what is, for someone that's watching this, like, why would they need a property manager? Like, where do you start there? What do you guys actually do?
We rent properties, but we do so much more than that. We make sure a homeowner feels safe leaving their home with us. We make sure a tenant knows that they're going to move into a house that is clean, that is ready for them to move in. We make sure that tenants know that maintenance requests will get fixed. I think we're in the peace of mind business.
I love that. Yeah, and I think it's important too, like in our community and everywhere, right? The home is a huge investment. So having someone that you can trust to take care of that as your investment, whether you plan it on being a rental home, whether you moved out of the area, whatever it may be, to make sure that investment gets taken care of. But I think there's another side of the coin too, to make sure that the renters, the people that need a home to live in, have a nice home to move into, get those maintenance requests taken care of, and all those things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I love is that, and we'll probably hit on this a little bit, but the name Integrity Property Management. I'm just curious, why did you call it Integrity?
It was very purposeful, naming it Integrity. I think just we've had experiences in the past where I don't think integrity was shown very well, kind of before we started Integrity. So when we started it, that was something that we just found was missing. And it was very important to us to make sure that we don't miss that we make sure that's on the forefront. Like, that's who we are.
I love that. And I think it's kind of being in real estate, right? Like I hear horror stories of property management stuff. And I think that that's kind of where that comes from, is you want to make sure that when people come to a property management company, they are coming to a company that has integrity, that's always going to do the right thing and make sure to take care of the people.
Yes, we've heard too many horror stories, and we don't want that for our clients.
Yeah, I love that. So Julie, where did this all begin, Integrity Property Management? Where did it all start?
So it started when me and Amanda had known each other for a while. I had moved away, I came back, she wanted to start a property management company. It kind of was just perfect timing because we had worked together, we trusted each other, we knew that we wanted to do this the right way. So that's kind of how it started. And we started with 0 properties, and now we're up at 171.
I love that. And I remember those conversations very diligently, because when we started a real estate company, property management wasn't a part of our business plan. It just almost came out of necessity. And it's weird how timing works, right? Is that we had clients that were begging us to help them with either rent their home out or find them a rental home. And so we decided we want to do what's best for the clients. And kind of what we were talking about earlier with the name of Integrity, like you were a part of those conversations, right? Is that we came up with that name Integrity because we wanted to make sure if we do this, we do it correctly.
Right.
We make sure we take care of the people.
Yeah, we weren't just gonna do it to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it had to be right, it had to be done the right way. And I'm really proud of how we've done that in the past 4.5 years now.
That's crazy. And it's, we've grown to 171 properties.
As of today, 171.
And we've spent literally 0 money advertising. It's grown organically because of the amazing people that you guys are taking care of every day, and the amazing reputation and word of mouth of the great business that you're running.
Yeah, I think that's the coolest thing. Having not really spent much money on advertising, we get from word of mouth, from other agents. People recommend us because they've seen what we do and they trust us. So yeah, that is super cool. Getting a referral is probably like the biggest compliment you can get in this business.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like what you said there, is that as a property management company, to be the trusted go-to, there's a lot to that. That takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, and I know that's very important to you. So Julie, to circle back to the peace of mind business, I love that, by the way. Let's talk about like the 2 types of people that we can help with property management. We have the landlord and we have the tenant. If someone is wanting to be a landlord or looking into that, like, how does that process work?
So that is a great question. There is a lot to it, but the important thing is there's not a lot the homeowner has to do. We make it very simple, very easy. Call, ask for Julie. I'll explain the entire process. We have multiple documents and information that I can provide to just make sure the homeowners know exactly what to expect. So there's no 6 months later, oh, you didn't tell me about that. Everything that they will ever be charged for, anything that they're responsible for, they're given all that information.
It goes back to the integrity thing, right?
Yeah.
Like there's, and again, this is not to knock any companies or anything. I've heard this throughout the years from other states and other areas and different things, is that there's a lot of hidden fees and stuff in property management business. And what I love is that we're transparent up front,
Very
right?
transparent.
It's hey, here's everything, here's what we can do for you, and here's what everything is. And by the way, our occupancy is at what, like 98% all year long. We do a really good job at finding tenants and taking care of properties as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We find the best tenants, I think, for our owners to have that peace of mind.
That's another part too that I think kind of gets overlooked is there's a screening process for tenants that we go through, right? You want to talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. There is a tenant screening process. There's an application. We make sure that this tenant we're putting in their house can afford to rent this house and that we believe that they are the best tenant for this house, kind of like matchmaking. And we do have less than 1% of our tenants paying late every month.
Wow.
So that starts with the screening process, making sure we're putting the best person in this house so that homeowner can continue to have peace of mind.
I think that's important for a homeowner, right? To know that their investment's in good hands. We are vetting the right people in the property, but also that late payment, right? Like they probably have a payment they have to pay whether the tenant pays or not. And to make sure that we're getting that on time, I think that's a huge aspect.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest concerns that homeowners have is, are they gonna destroy my house and are they gonna pay rent? And I can say that we have a really, really great track record with those things not happening.
I love it. So let's go to the other side, the tenant side. And so if there is someone that is watching this, it's like, hey, I think I want to rent a house. How does that process work? Where would they start?
So we have a lot of tenants or a lot of applicants that aren't even here yet. A lot of times they want to lock in a house before they get here.
Sure.
Sometimes they are in town and they do want to view it, but it's probably about 50-50 of each. I think their biggest concern not seeing the house is, who are these people? Or what kind of property are they putting me in? Are the pictures real?
Yeah.
Is it going to be dirty? Is it going to be damaged? And so that's very important to us that we let them understand that we would not do that. We take pride in our homes and what we do. And so tenants can have peace of mind renting a property, knowing that they're going to move into a property that is ready to be moved into.
I love that. I wasn't aware of that. So if someone's here and they want to see it in person, that's an option. But another option is if you're not here yet, or maybe you want to see it virtually, there's photos and different processes that you guys have put in place to help those type of people as well.
Yeah, we can do video walkthroughs, take extra pictures. It is very scary to rent a property by itself, but to rent a property for a year that you've not seen, that's scary. So we do give them peace of mind of that, and they can trust that they will be moving into a house that is ready.
I love that. That's awesome. So Julie, being in the real estate business for a while, I've known a little bit about property management, not near as much as you. But one of the things that I hear a lot is like repairs and maintenance, work orders, and whether you're a landlord or you're a tenant, that's a big part of this process of managing property because repairs happen, right? You have a leaky faucet or you have a roof leak or whatever you may have, right? So how does that process work with integrity?
So if a tenant puts in a maintenance request, we do try to troubleshoot the problem first. There's a couple things that we can have them do. And if that doesn't work, then we'll go ahead and send out maintenance. We have a time for each kind of maintenance request of how long they need to take. So if you put in a maintenance request, we're not just going to send it to somebody and just hope it gets done. There is a process to that to make sure they get done in a timely manner.
Okay.
To make sure our vendors are communicating with our clients, to make sure our property owners understand that sometimes property owners don't really like maintenance requests, which who wouldn't, because that's going to cost them some money. But we do make sure that they understand that this is going to benefit you in the long run, because if you let this linger, it could be a bigger issue.
Sure.
We take maintenance requests very seriously. I know that's probably another thing that I hear from people is that they've had a broken AC for so long or something. That is not going to be us ever. Someone puts in a maintenance request and that maintenance request is resolved in a timely manner.
I love that. And I love what you said too, is because a landlord could be like, well, maybe I don't want to do the maintenance request. Like there's variances, right? And there's a discussion that happens. But at the end of the day, you want to preserve your property too.
Right.
You want to make sure it gets taken care of. So we were talking a little bit about repairs, which is a huge part of this process. Something I'd like to go a little deeper on is that the vendors that you mentioned and those trusted vendors and those relationships and maybe why that's important to the landlords and the tenants.
When you're talking about sending a vendor into somebody's property, there's a liability there, you know?
Sure.
So we do make sure that our vendors have insurance, they have their license, we make sure we have their contact information, that we're in contact with them. We don't just send anybody into anybody's home. We know who these people are. We've worked with many of them for years and years. So that's very important to me because we need to make sure that our clients continue to trust us. So the vendors are an extension of us, so their integrity is important to integrity property management. So if they're, going out there and they're doing the right thing like we trust them to do, that only benefits everybody.
Yeah, it's trusting them to do the right thing, trusting them in a stranger's house, getting things done in a timely manner for the right cost, just integrity all around. I think that's just a huge part of it. Is there anything else that you would like to cover about integrity property management that you think would be important for people to know?
I think it's important for people to know that here we're a team. There's 3 of us. We work great as a team. We're in constant communication. We genuinely care about each other and our clients, and I'm just really happy to be here, and I just love my job.
Yeah, well, you guys do a great job. It's amazing to see the growth and the reputation that you guys have earned in a positive way, and just taking care of people with integrity. And so, guys, if you're looking for a place to maybe consider putting your first investment property, or you're looking for a place to rent, look no further. Julie and Integrity Property Management are here to help. So, Julie, something that's unique about our relationship is that we sell houses and you guys rent houses. And so sometimes we work together and collaborate, right? So someone is wanting to sell their house, but maybe also rent their house. We work together on that. Or someone wants to buy a home, but they need to rent a home for a few months before they purchase one. I think that's one of the cool things about our relationship, is that we're able to communicate and make sure, for me, from a real estate perspective, to make sure that client gets taken care of with that integrity, right? That gets everything taken care of that they need to, so that they can ultimately buy or sell the home that they choose to. Do you want to talk a little bit about, from your perspective, of that relationship?
Yeah, absolutely. So Matt Smith Real Estate Group and Integrity Property Management, we do work in the same building. I'm very close to all the agents there. We have a great relationship, and something that's kind of cool is how well we work together when it comes to, maybe I have a tenant that wants to buy a house, or I have a homeowner that wants to sell their investment property. I can confidently give that lead over to a listing agent or a buyer's agent, and I know they're going to take care of that person. And then in return, if they have maybe a house where the homeowner wants to rent it out instead of selling it, they come and they can trust me to take care of that person. And it's just a very trusting relationship, which I think
100%.
is very important. I know my client is going to get taken care of if I send them to you. And I believe that the agents believe the same about integrity.
Yeah, 100% we do. And it's because of the amazing work that you guys do. And that's one of the reasons why I want to do this video, is to let people know that that's an option. I think that's just a big, important part of that process, is that I say it all the time, but we're fortunate to be able to help people the biggest purchase or sale of their life when they're in real estate. And whether you want to rent it out, whether you want to sell it, whether you're looking to buy, whether you're looking to rent, like, you need a place to live and you need someone you can trust. And so that's why I love the partnership that we have.
Yeah, everyone works really good together.